Once again, another day and another episode of The Uncomfortable Truth. I know there's a lot of individuals out there that are not happy that I'm here, but yes, God has blessed me with another day and another opportunity to give you some more uncomfortable truths. Today is going to be something that you can say I'm traveling back in time. I'm going to do a format that I used to do when we first began the show. I started to switch it up after I became the single independent host of the show. But I thought that I was missing out on a lot of information and a lot of opportunity for me to spread certain information. A lot of times when I talk about topics, I like to bring in, other topics to tie them all in together and to show you how these things link together, how it's a domino effect, if you will. I don't think a lot of things are as simple as we put them. I don't think a lot of things are as easy put as we try to make them. We talk about things and we comment on things that often we really don't even have our own personal experience. Usually we hear something or we hear somebody else talk about exactly what it is that we're dealing with that day, and we adopt their pain. We adopt their situation and circumstance. We adopt their actual being when we've never dealt with anything like that before ourselves. But tonight we're going to talk about, the first topic is daughters dating and how I actually don't agree with it at all. No daughter dates for me and mine. No daughter dates for you and yours. I believe that daughters dating are literally teaching our children, our girls, what to do and what not to do, how to use and how to be used. There is absolutely nothing, no marriage talk when it comes to kids and dating. So what is it for? And next we'll be talking about real men ask real questions. And the reason why I said that, I wanted to bring up real men asking real questions, is because it actually is different from where we start. When you are a little girl and you're dating for fun. There is no purpose. You're not dating for marriage. And then when you move on, you're trying to find what? A man, a real man, because you're not a child anymore. When you become a woman, you put away childish things. So then we talked about, like I said, we're going to talk about real men ask real questions. And lastly, we're going to talk about what is your sentimental value. And a lot of individuals are not going to understand this until I actually talk about it, what I mean by what is your sentimental value. But a lot of individuals, you hear them say, I know my worth. I know my value. Well, what is that value? And what is that worth? What does it mean? Where did it come from? Who set the standard of that worth and that value? And why do you value that specific value and worth? When actuality, we're not even really trying to obtain that at the end. At the end of the day, I truly believe that all relationships, when it comes to being romantic, at the end of the day, we want somebody to just love us for us. Not for our education, not for the amount of money we make, not for the way we look, but just who we are as a spirit. Because at the end, that's all we're really going to have. You're not going to have that body. You're most likely not even going to have the money. And you're definitely not going to have all this education, because guess what? It'll probably be obsolete. So what is it for? And what are we all doing? And now that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to tie it all in together when we begin the show. I'm actually trying to figure out exactly how this all got started. I've done a lot of research. I could not find when and where it became okay for little girls and boys to start dating in a romantic sense. Because if you go back even further, you'll see where we were actually picking and choosing the families that we would marry into. everybody knew that once you became intimate with another person, you were damn near married. There was no certificates. It was when a man and a woman joined together, and a man and a woman had a different value and a different definition back then. A girl became a woman when she started to bleed. A boy became a man once he was able to till the land. Once he was able to start to grow and take over his father's duties. But today we have a total different meaning. And we're going to talk about it all here on The Uncomfortable Truth. Before we actually get started, I'd like to invite everybody on all other channels, Instagram, TikTok, to go to YouTube right now and join the channel. It's called The Uncomfortable Truth at the Atlanta Cast Network. I would like for you to subscribe. I'm not cutting people up yet. I'm trying to be nice. I would like for you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It's free. And if you do want to get on the panel, you want to talk tonight, guess what? You don't have to have any followers. If there's anything you would like for me to stop and say at any given time, just hit the super chat. It'll come across the screen. It doesn't matter who's on the panel. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. We will stop and acknowledge what it is that you have to say. All right. I know that we have other people coming in, and I know that we got people backstage. So what I would like to do first is actually go into the first topic. I would like to play the first video. And the first topic is no daughter dates. And operator, could you please play that video when it comes to being a placeholder?
Do women and men use people as placeholders? Yes. I've done it several times for years. All right. I wasn't committed to that woman. I didn't respect those women. I didn't have trust. And I got caught up at times looking elsewhere because I didn't value the people that I had in my life at that time. So, if you're sitting around in a relationship for years, right? And you have a preference of being married, which I've always had a preference of being married, right? I have a preference of being married. So why didn't I marry those women? Why didn't I marry those women? Because I was allowing them to hold a spot just so I can have someone, just so I can have company, just so I can call myself looking for quote unquote happiness when I should be looking for myself. That's a placeholder.
And with that being said, operator, could you please bring some of the guests that we have backstage up so I can have a small conversation with them before we go to the next topic? Hello. I know you have both. You have sons and you have a daughter.
Mm-hmm. I do. Okay.
And I want to know what do you think about your daughter dating?
I just it makes me cringe. And I hate to say it's different between my sons, like the idea of them dating versus my daughter dating, because there is a standard that you want for your little girl. And it's hard as parents for us to see our daughters grow up. They're always going to be our little girl. And being a woman, I mean, I can understand the mentality of the people that my daughter is dating. My daughter is young, so she's going to be dating young men. So understanding that mentality, it's a scary thought, honestly. It is very scary. If I could deal with it, I would not have her date at all if I could.
Did you seen the video that we played and how the guy was talking about having a woman as a placeholder, right? Okay.
Yes.
So is that not every single guy in high school? That's every single guy.
Well, I don't know. I did marry my high school sweetheart. So
okay, but what's the percentage of that happening?
Oh yeah, the percentage is very low for sure.
So I would say the 99% of girls in high school that are dating are just literally placeholders until these guys get out of high school. You're being
Sometimes out of college.
used. You're being
Right.
used. You're literally being used. And guess what? You're being taught to be used. We are teaching our daughters that it's okay for a guy who has no intention of marrying you, has absolutely no intention of having any type of long-term commitment, to be able to touch and play with your body, get access to your body. He don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out.
Right.
And what are 99? No, fuck 99. What are 100% of the conversation when a girl is dating a guy in high school? What is 100% of the conversation?
With
Childish.
them or with the parents? Yeah,
Them.
it's childish.
It's childish.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing that matters
Absolutely
at all.
nothing with substance whatsoever. It's all
No.
about fun, maybe sex, sex and fun. Sex and fun.
Pretty much
Sex and fun. All right. This is started. We're going all the way back. We're starting where it all began. The first time a girl ever touched a guy. The first time a guy ever touched you. The first time you ever got your little panties ruined. The first time you felt an erection. We're going all the way back. We're going all the way back. And I'm telling you that this right here, through my own research, and this is just me coming up with this. I ain't heard this nowhere else. I ain't heard nobody else say it. I believe that daughters dating in school age girls dating, is teaching them how to be a placeholder. Literally. Clapback, what you got to say?
Well, thank you, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you able to hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an exciting. This is a great topic because there definitely was a shift. I remember coming up because y'all know I'm old. I'm 56. I remember coming up. There was no such thing being in grade school or junior high as dating. You didn't do that. I mean, the closest you got to it was if you had a church function that you went down to the church, maybe did Halloween, or they called it Hallelujah Night, or Christmas party, or you go to the movies, but there was always a chaperone. They made sure the little girls and little boys didn't get too close to each other. But the society in which we live in now, we have children that are out here doing adult things. And the sad part about it, it's the adult parents that are the one promoting this bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, because they're the ones who give them a permission to do it. So it also, there's another aspect to it. It's not only teaching our daughters how to be used, right? Okay, because we got to look at both sides. It's not only teaching our daughters how to be used, but what else does a girl have? What is the use for a guy, for a girl in high school? What she's not looking for a husband. She don't need nobody to pay her bills because her mom and dad is doing all that. So what is she getting out of dating a guy in high school? What is she getting out of it?
A whole lot of dick. That's it. That's all she getting.
Hey, I can't deny that. See, what else? What is she getting?
I mean, in no
She's getting a lot
realistic
of
situation. I
trauma.
mean, yeah, that's true. A lot of trauma. The best thing that she might get out of it is some life experience and learn how to cope with things, but that's pretty much it. But that coping skill is going to come from her dealing with the traumas of dating someone who is in high school.
We got some background noise. Can everybody All right, listen. So I believe that she gets little gifts. I believe that the boy sometimes probably pays for stuff, buys her lunch, gives her gifts, trying to impress her. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to impress her. So literally, I believe not only are we teaching daughters how to be placeholders for guys who have absolutely nothing to offer them, but they also are being taught how to use those guys.
Absolutely.
Operator, can you please play that next video for this topic?
So here's 3 ways you might be being used by a woman and how to tell if it's happening. So the number 1 is the most obvious, and that's being used financially. That's where a woman will use you for money. And here's the simplest piece of advice that I give guys. If a woman is not your girlfriend and she asks you for any type of help with money, help with her rent, her car payment, anything, she's using you. If a woman actually likes you, she will never ask for you help with money unless you're her boyfriend, period. The second way a woman will use a guy, and this is the most likely way you're being used, is for validation. She'll be chasing some other guy, but she keeps you around to feel good about herself because you compliment her, give her attention, boost her ego. The number 1 way to tell if a woman is using you for validation is she's hard to get out with or to meet up with. If a woman really likes you, it's very easy to get her to meet up. So if she texts you and talks to you, but rarely will she meet up with you, she likely enjoys your validation more than she enjoys you. So third is girls will use you as a backup plan. This means that she'll hang out with you, she likes you, but she's not invested in you or the relationship. Really, she's using you for company and affection until the guy that she actually wants comes along. How can you tell? She doesn't ever talk about a future with you. She doesn't introduce you to her friends or her family. She's never the one pushing for the meetup or trying to get more serious with you. Now, here's the thing I tell guys. If you're fine being used, that's cool. Some guys just like having a hot girl in their life, and in a way, they're using her too. But you have to be honest with yourself because you don't want to waste years of your life chasing a woman who has no real interest in you.
And this is what I'm saying. It's those same things that he was saying happens in high school. These are habits that young girls are picking up on how to avoid, how to treat, how to use, how to manipulate certain individuals to get what they want. And I truly believe that daughters dating is going to have a long-term effect on women as they get older in life. Laura, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Do you have daughters?
Yeah, she's 24 and married now. 25, married with 2 children. Yes. And did I let her date? No, sir.
Clapback, do you have daughters?
One son. I don't have daughters.
Okay. I got 2.
One son, no daughters.
I got 2 daughters, and I didn't allow them to date. However, it wasn't always my choice because there was a second parent involved, and the mother would allow them to go on dates and have boyfriends and all that other kind of shit when they weren't in my care. So unfortunately, they got some bad experiences out of that. And I think that a child is supposed to be protected and not allowed to just go out and have any and everything happen to them at a certain age where they can't actually even control it. All of this brings me into my next topic, which is real men ask real questions. And I believe that when a young girl is done with high school things, could y'all mute up real quick? Amira said, I wasn't allowed to date until 18. If you could, can y'all put the link to join in the box? I would like for her to come up, and I would like to ask her a couple of questions on her experience, if possible. But real men ask real questions. Like we said before, these experiences that daughters have in their younger days, they not only have those experiences, but they become accustomed to a certain type of conversation with boys. They become, okay, how are you going to win me? What do most women say? what is a good way for a man to get her attention and keep her attention? To make her do what? Laugh. Not make her think, but make her laugh. So all I gotta do is make you giggle, and the panties are coming right off, coming right off. I can make you giggle. I can giggle your panties right off your back and have my way with you. Where did you learn that at, Mel? Where did that come from? Where did it come from that not a man talking about insurance and retirement and a career and home ownership? That ain't what made you interested. What made you interested is you laughing and having fun.
Are you talking about adult women here or girls?
About adult women. I'm talking about
Okay.
adult women. Listen,
Okay.
I'm telling you, I talk to women every day on TikTok, every day. And I've asked them these questions. I said, ladies, tell me, what did it require for a man to get access to your body?
Like access.
Exactly. What was it required? A whole bunch of intangible shit. And I've heard women say, hell, all he had to do was just show me a good time and keep me laughing.
Damn.
Show me a good time and keep me laughing. And now I'm going to give him access to my body. So what is a good man? What is a good man? What is a good man? I want you to give me your definition, Draco. What is your definition?
Don't do that. A good man is somebody who is. So I think a good man is one, a leader, because I need to be led. Like if you can't lead me, if you can't make decisions, if I can't see you being able to steer me and my household in a direction that we need to go in, then I mean, it's hard for me to even be you as a man, much less a good man. A provider. I don't need anybody to provide for me, but should the situation come, if I can be a partner with you, if I can help you when you need, or you can help me when I need. So equally yoked partner, a provider, a partner, a leader, and just someone who will talk to me about anything. Like you can't just be on one level. You have to have many facets to your personality. Like if it's one thing that I can say that I like about you, we good. Like it's nothing that we can communicate on.
Okay, Gigi, welcome to the show. Amiria, welcome to the show. I want both of y'all to give me, what is your definition of a good guy? What's a good man? Whichever one of y'all want to talk first.
So I can start first. I think that we need to realize that for me, a good man is not being a perfect one, but one that he can listen. He can be able to be my friend. That's what I would say, number one. And then that he's able to, understand. You don't have to be like, how can I explain this? A good man is not that only can provide, because I think as a family we have to provide together, but it's that can be able to listen to and able to express himself even when he's mad, when he's upset, able to sit down and have that conversation with you and say, look, this and this is bothering me. It doesn't go only that what he can do, it's how what he feels, how he can express himself. That's for me is a good man.
Okay, Amiria, if I'm saying your name right.
No, it's pronounced Amaria.
Amaria. Okay.
Damn.
But yeah, I just got off of work, so sorry,
No problem.
wasn't able to come up.
What is your ideal of a good guy?
Well, some people have already answered and said a couple things that I agree with, like in terms of provision and being able to talk to you, but I'm still fairly young, so I think so far what I find to be something that's a good guy for me is someone who I feel really like holds me accountable. to a lot of things. I feel like my current relationship that I'm in right now, a lot of times he has made me realize things where I myself didn't hold myself accountable to something, or I was maybe a little bit delusional about something. Um, and he centers me and he grounds me. So I think that's something that I think a good man is able to do, is to ground you and, I don't know, bring you back to reality. Because I don't know, some of us young ones, we are kind of not in touch with reality all the time.
Okay. And I would like to ask all of you, do y'all believe that the majority of the men that you just described, the majority of guys that you described, are these the guys that are getting picked in the black community to be in relationships and father children?
Mm-mm.
Who are you asking, Spock?
The ladies.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think
I
so.
would say
Because I
no.
feel like we are so like blinded by the assets that are not they shouldn't be a priority and they're not important. So I mean, I really don't think that they are. I think that they come later on in life when we mature and we go through all of that trauma and we go through like those negative relationships and experiences, we come to the realization of that. But initially, no, I don't think they are.
So, with my previous comments about how girls are taught how to be placeholders, they are taught how to be used and to use other people while you're dating in high school. These good guys that y'all just described, that not one of you picked first. I don't know your dating history, but I would say the majority of women did not, do not, and will not pick this guy that you just described first. You'll pick him after you fuck up with the shitty dude. Somebody stop me when I'm lying.
Well,
So where did you learn that?
Well,
Where did you learn that?
Can
Go
I
ahead.
say this?
Go ahead.
I think because I'm for the whole females, I'm the oldest one. I think that I think that from the part, it's not that much, okay, because it's something that I say today. I was talking about with a friend of mine like 2 weeks ago, and I'm sorry if I'm going to offend somebody, but it's the truth. I say I do not want to date another African American guy. I'm going to stay with my Hispanic guys. I'm going to stay with Hispanic because they got their family beliefs. I'm not saying they're all perfect because they're not all perfect, but they believe. And you know what? This dating that I see now that here is in African American, like, oh no, we dating 8 months, but yeah, but you want me to cook, you want me to do all these things for you. Like this, like this generation's all messed up. And I already say I'm sticking with my Hispanic, sticking with my Latinos, because when we start dating somebody, look, it's close right there. Like we gonna know each other. It's only me and you. We're not gonna deal that I'm gonna be going out with so and so and so until I find the right one. We don't do that.
Are you trying to tell me that
I don't
Dominican men
agree
do
with
not play
that.
with women?
The what?
Are you trying to tell me that Dominican men don't play women?
Hey, like again, I say all men
Uh,
is not the same. Let's not only
no,
talk
no, no,
about.
no.
I
You
was
heard what
married.
the hell I said.
Look,
Are you
don't
trying to
let
tell
me
me that
down.
Dominican men don't play women?
No, I said no. What I say, there's some good one and
Lord,
there's
you
some
got a
bad
lot
ones.
of background
There's
noise,
a
brother.
lot of good Dominican men. I'm godmother of one kid, and he's Dominican, and he's a very good man for his wife.
Hey, operator, put me and
Men
Gigi
are
up
not
here
the
in the box
same.
together. Put me and Gigi up in the box. I gotta handle this real quick. Listen to me.
Oh God.
Listen to me.
That's
Okay?
why you would buy a dog.
I know exactly where you found the majority of your men. I know exactly where you met the majority of your men. And it wasn't in good, wholesome places. So how you gonna sit up there and judge?
How do you know that?
Because I know where you work.
Hey, it's Paul. You know, she believes she can be whoever she wants to on TV, so that's what she's doing right now. We ain't no fool.
Listen, you got to understand that you and the majority of women in America are attracted to toxicity.
No, we're
And it
not.
don't matter.
I'm
Hold
not.
on, let me explain what I'm saying. The good guy always finished last in America. The good guy always finished last because you don't pay attention to him. You don't give him any type of love. You didn't give him no love in high school. You didn't give him no love in college, and you didn't give him no love until you get
That's a lie.
tired.
That's a lie.
No,
Those
I'm
are
talking
the
about
one
the
that want
majority.
that you have. The
Talking
one
about the
that we
majority.
think that okay, they so relaxed. Okay, they don't have no drama. Okay, you know what? And I'm not even talking about. Let's say, oh no, because you need to look for the cute ones. No, honey.
No,
So are you
no.
telling me?
You guys
Hey,
Are you telling me that the
inside.
majority of women are going after the good guy first? Is that what you're trying to say?
I thought I married the good guy, so
I cannot talk about
Okay,
them.
so
I'm
you want to
talking
do the
about
cat?
No, the
You wanna bring
answer
the cat?
is no.
You want to bring the
The
cat
answer
tonight?
is
Operator,
no.
operator, play that video on good guys finish last. I need y'all to come over to the YouTube.
Girls don't like good guys. Now, let me break this down. A girl is a female child. It doesn't matter how old she is. She could be 30 years old and be a girl. She's immature. And you're asking her to be attracted to a good guy, a man who's righteous, who puts food on the table, has a great job, works hard, invests in himself and into his body and into his mentality. You're asking for her to be attracted to a man that she doesn't even know how to serve or even understand. Which is why these girls like bad guys, because a bad guy is a man of poor quality. Because most likely she's of poor quality too. She doesn't bring anything to the table, so they are attracted to one another. So fellas, there's nothing wrong with you when you're saying, well, why don't girls like me? Am I too much of a good guy? No, you're just attracting the wrong type of female. You're trying to attract a child mentally when you should be trying to attract a woman, one who has the same qualities or standards as you, so you all can attract to each other.
And that's the problem. Y'all don't become
the problem
a
is
woman.
girls.
Y'all exactly. Y'all don't become a woman until after the pain. And then I gotta deal with all your insecurities of all the damage that you received before meeting me. Every time
We have to
somebody
deal
likes a
with the
picture,
same.
every time a girl
But-
likes my picture on some social media, you got a huge problem with it. You like, who the fuck is this bitch? Because a man before you that you were playing with that child cheating on you and playing with you. Because why? He reminded you of the fun you had in high school. He
But
reminded
Mark,
you.
it sounds like you're describing girls, not women, because a woman
Okay.
should be secure
Operator,
about
bring
herself.
everybody
I want to be
else
secure
back.
about myself.
Bring everybody back. Operator, bring everybody back. Listen, y'all got to understand that you are a girl before you are a woman.
Correct.
Every last one of you. Now, just because you turned 18 and you got a little fur down there, that doesn't automatically mean you're a woman. And a lot of adult women, a lot of adult girls go through a process that sometimes results in children, sometimes results in broken families and broken homes because you had to wait until you were 30 years old to wake the fuck up from the high school training that you got. How many women in here never got touched by a boy in high school? Raise your hand. Never. You never got touched by a boy. Girl, if you don't put your hand down.
I didn't even had a boyfriend.
High
school.
Never got not a kiss, nothing.
No.
I don't believe it.
The first
So you can't you can't ask for these answers and then get them.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let everybody speak.
And the first time, no, it's true. The first time I had sex, I was 23.
Okay, the first time you had sex, is that the majority of women?
No, it's not the majority of women, and that's okay for it not to be the majority of
If
women.
y'all want to stay on, you only be able to hear my side. Y'all could still.
Peter, you went out. Blasian, how old was you the first time a boy touched you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. How old were you the first time a boy touched you?
I know you're listening, Mom. I was I was 16 years old.
Okay, 16 years old. You were 16. All right. That's common. That's a common age. Uh
Mm-hmm.
uh Maria.
Yeah, so if you're talking about like what, losing virginity, that's
Yeah,
what everyone's
no,
talking
no,
about?
no, kiss, hug,
Oh,
date, all that stuff. What was the first time you had an interaction with a boy?
a hug, like I don't know, daycare, like I mean,
No, you know what I mean.
eight,
You know
10,
what kind of hug.
9.
You know what kind of hug
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, that kind of hug? No, I
That
didn't lose
kind
my
of hug.
virginity until I was 20, so it was a
Okay, so
while.
you and Gigi are like the one in a million, one in a
I
thousand.
tell your
Well, I
mama
didn't
you
have
ain't
a
shit.
boyfriend until I was like almost 19, so
Okay, so was that the majority of the girls that you went to high school with?
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So what I'm trying to say, I want y'all to see what I'm trying to link together. I want y'all to try to see how I'm linking all this stuff together. Now, those who didn't have any interaction with boys in high school, like Gigi and Amaria, guess what? Amaria, are you married?
No.
Are you with a guy that y'all are dating to get married?
Yes.
Okay. So do you believe that that foundation of not having been played with, not having been played with by boys, and you not playing with boys got you in the mentality to say, I only want to be with one guy and I want to settle down now?
Oh yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of women.
But that's not. That's yeah. Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What you trying to say?
Because I mean, I definitely was in the different mentality. Like I was 16, but I did
Throwing it back.
know
Throwing it
that
back. Throwing it back.
I was 16. Yes, I
Throwing
was
it
a
back.
child.
Yep.
I was a child.
Throwing
But
it back.
I also
Let's not skip over that. Throwing it back.
I wasn't throwing it back. I was not. We're not gonna do this. Anyway, the point I'm making is, so even in that mentality, I knew that I wanted to be with somebody. I knew that it was important for me for my first time to be with somebody that meant something to me, that I, in my 16-year-old head, that meant something to me, that was I was in a relationship with, and in a long-term relationship with. So it was like a year before I said, okay, I'm ready to do that. But even in that, like I did get married young as well, but I knew that I knew my value. Like I want to say, even at a young age, like I knew that I have to be in charge of who I allow to have to have access to me. So I got married at a younger age. I was, in the church and things of that nature. I was in a religion, but I knew, and I think more of it is not necessarily if you allow your daughters to date, but is if you have a man in your life who can teach you this is what you should emulate. So I think it's more of having like a father figure, or a father, because I had my father in my home, but a father figure in your life to show you this is what you emulate. This is what you should go after. This is what you should see in someone that you want to even consider as a mate or as a partner. So that was like my mentality.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad that you used your
Okay.
father. So, was your first boyfriend like your father?
Yes, very much so.
And what was your second one like?
Well, my second one was my husband, and he was
Damn.
not like my father, and my dad did not like him at all. Did not listen.
Damn.
Okay.
But he was a very wholesome person. Like he was, very family oriented. It was just his mentality and my mentality as we grew older were not the same. We weren't equally yoked, but I was so young when I got married that I was like, I want a husband. I don't want to play around with people. I know what I want. I want to be with one person. But I don't think at an early age that should even be your mentality as a partner. It should be you figuring out who you are.
Well, I think that is bad advice. And the reason why I say that is because by the time you figure out who you are, you're going to be somebody else.
Yeah.
You're not the same person you were at 16, at 26. You're not the same person at 26
Absolutely
you were
not.
at 36. At 46, you're going to constantly be changing. You're constantly turning into a different person. When you dedicate yourself to a person, that's it. You don't get to change kids. When you got a badass child, when you become a mother, that's the child you got forever. You got to be a mama to that little child forever. So why is it that we all of a sudden believe that I got to figure out who I am and what I am and what I am going to be and what I'm going to do before I settle down and say I'm going to be with one person and focus on black family?
Because those are excuses.
Because you want it to last. That's a life partner.
Well,
I don't know who I am at.
No,
18.
it lasts because you say I'm not going no damn where, regardless of what the fuck happens.
I mean, that's your opinion. In my opinion, it was not a safe space for me to stay there. Like my life was threatened, so I couldn't stay there.
Oh,
yeah, I can understand.
Do that.
I can understand.
You know what I
that
mean?
too.
So,
Gigi, say what you was about to say, Gigi.
I say that a lot of times because we want to make excuses about everything, and it's not so much that about A or B. It's that if we making excuses, because we really don't want that. There's a lot of people,
What's
and
going on,
now
Melina?
as parents, we do not prepare our kids for marriage. We prepare our kids to be single, to study, have everything together. We don't prepare our daughters to be wives. We don't prepare our sons to be a husband, and that's the true life right now. That is what's happening. We preparing like your son. Oh yeah, you know how to cook, you know how to wash. You don't need no woman. You blah blah blah. You better not need no woman. That's why I teach you how to cook, how to be da da da. So the guys now they grow like, oh, I don't need no woman. I know how to cook. I know this. I don't need you. The same as a lot of females. They being grow as like, I work, I do this. I don't need no man. So that is the truth that we live in right now. That us as parents, we not educating our kids that what we always need the other companion. We always gonna need each other. That's what complement, and we're not showing that. We don't even see that on TV no more. You don't see those kind of movies. You don't see that no more.
Well, I mean,
so I gotta agree but disagree with her.
The rhetoric that's being pushed by women that most men are trash is not helping. I want everybody to answer this question as I go down, including the men. What's your percentage of men that you believe are good? Gigi, start with you. Then we're gonna go to Clapback, Peter, Amaria, Draco, and then Blazion. What your own opinion? It can't be wrong. What percentage? And everybody on TikTok, I want you to put it down in the comments. Put it in the comments if you're watching the show. If you're watching on Facebook, I want you to put it in the comments. What do you believe that the percentage of men are good? Go, Gigi.
I would think
Pool Queen said 25%.
40. 40. And I'm picking that.
40%. So we got 25 and we got 40.
And that's all races.
Okay. Clapback. What percentage of men are good? Amaria, I expect you to be on the screen.
I'm going to say 75%.
75%. We got 75%. Okay. Peter?
75. Yeah.
I heard you. 75.
I'll say about 80.
80%. 80% of men are good men.
Yeah, about 80% of men are good.
All right. Amaria?
33 on TikTok.
I would say 60%.
60%. Let's go, Draco.
I agree. I say about 80%.
80%.
Damn.
Blazion.
Yes, I believe about 84%, 85.
Damn.
85%. All right. So who said 20? Who said, oh, that was somebody, that was the Pool Queen. And the lowest we have on here is 40%, which was Gigi. Gigi said 40%. The majority of the panel said more than half.
You know what's interesting about that, Mark?
Yeah.
based upon the conversation that we've had so far, the scores given by the women align with their experiences and what they and how they've lived their life and their concept of the world.
Okay, I can agree with that. But what I was going to say is that only one person, surprisingly to me, said that less than half of men are good. And okay, you know, that's her experience. But the majority of everybody was in the high 80s, which I'm surprised. Because beyond popular belief, I'm gonna ask for one more percentage before I go to the next video. What percentage of men do you believe have access to sex? Gigi.
Have all of them.
100%. Clap back. Clap back. What do you believe? What is the percentage of men that have access to sex?
I would say about.
They don't have to pay for it.
I'll go 15%.
15%. Okay.
I go 15%.
I'm going somewhere with these numbers now.
Yep,
I'm going somewhere
yep.
with these numbers. All right, Peter. What is your percentage of men who have access to
Cat
sex?
back is extremely close. I would say maybe about 30. Oh no, not pay for it. About 25.
All right,
25%. Yeah.
Okay. Draco,
yeah.
what percentage of men have access to sex?
I agree with Gigi. I feel like 100%. Maybe 90. Maybe 90.
Oh,
right.
so you said 10% of men pay for it?
I mean, I could see that.
Okay.
10%. Okay.
Blasian, what percentage of men have access to sex?
I know where we're going now. Okay.
I would say, excuse me, I was going to say 10 to 15. Between 10 to 15%, the highest 15, that's it.
Amaria, what percentage of men have access to sex?
I was going to say like 30, 35.
35. All right. Okay, so the difference is astounding. It's astounding. It's mind-boggling. So, Gigi, you said 40% of men are good guys, but 100% of them motherfuckers get the fuck.
Exactly.
So
But you didn't say pay because anybody you can have.
Listen, what does that say
They
about?
can pay for it.
What I said without paying for it.
But you say that after I gave my response.
Okay, so
You did say that after she gave hers.
Okay, you change your
But
number.
you said 90.
Without access, without
I
paying
did.
for
I
it.
didn't say 90. She
What
said
access?
90.
What's
Right, that's
how
what
many
I'm saying.
men? What's the percentage of men that have access to sex without paying for it?
Without paying for it.
That's right.
I
Just
would
off of
say
that look.
82.
What?
82.
Gosh, dog. So you giving 82% of the men access to your body?
No.
Okay,
I'm
but see,
talking
I
about
know
men.
where this is going.
No,
This is
that
going
comes
as
to you. That addresses you.
Hold on. Here
That
we go.
comes to your percentage. You giving
We're talking
82%.
about we are
a
talking
chance.
about me.
No, we're not talking about her. We're talking about.
We're not talking about you.
We're talking
Right.
about me.
Hold on. Check it out. So you believe that 40% of men are good, but you believe that double that number, men get access to women. So what does that say to women? What does that say about women? Women are willing to give their access to their bodies to piece of shit dudes.
That's true.
Yes,
I
they
know.
are.
Yes,
They
they do.
absolutely are.
Over and
Yeah.
over again.
This is
they
true.
do.
So,
Yes.
so,
Cool.
so
And
therefore,
because you guys
what I
some of
was
you
saying,
guys
hold
as
on. So
men-
what I was saying was valuable. I'm saying that 82% of the people that come to you, you give access to your body.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Like us as a whole, like
So what
gender.
percentage? So what percentage
We're
of
talking
men
about
who approach
percentage of the
you
whole world. We're not talking about me.
that want to holler at you? Hold on. What percentage of men that want to holler at
That
you?
wanna
You give
holler?
access to that you even a treat to even go on a date on? What percentage of men is that?
Maybe
Oh,
10,
none.
15,
Honey,
maybe
I
10.
have been
Half
dating
of
guys
these
for
women
9
not even
years and
going
they
on
have
dates.
never
No, I'm
They just
asking you.
sleeping
What
with
I'm
them.
saying, when you were
Come on.
single, what percentage of men did you have that you gave access to?
Definitely.
You?
Most of y'all turn men down.
Less than 10. Yeah.
Less than
turn it
10.
down.
You have
Also,
turned more
right.
men
So
down
that's
than you
now,
have
hold
said
on,
yes
hold
to.
on, Clap. I'm going somewhere with this. Do you see what Clap said? He said 15. I said 25. Y'all saying 80 or 90. So that means women have this. So you're saying as a general consensus that can give access to their body of 90% of the people that approach
there
them.
are a lot of females, but it's like
so y'all saying that's what y'all do too, or y'all just different?
No,
the outline.
I'm not saying about you.
No,
Okay,
I mean your standard is your standard, but we see it happen every day.
But see, that's where the argument is flawed at. But
hold on, everybody.
That's where the argument becomes.
Pause. I want to welcome in the new guest. Tina, Halima, welcome to the show. Queen Asia, welcome back. Listen, I want to get these individuals. I want to get these individuals' numbers real quick before I move on. Halima, could you unmute, please? I want you to tell me, what do you believe the percentage of men are good?
About 80%.
80%. And what percentage of men do you believe get access to sex?
20.
Okay, great numbers. Queen Asia, what is your numbers? What percentage of men do you believe are good?
Between 45 and 47% is good.
Okay. And what percentage of all men do you believe gets access to sex without paying for it?
90%. There's always somebody for someone.
Okay, last one, and then we're gonna move on. Wendy, welcome to the show. Tell me, what do you believe? What percentage of men are good, and what percentage? Yeah, what percentage of men are good? Hold on. If you have YouTube on in the background, I need you to cut it down.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, if you got your TV on another device, turn it all the way down.
Okay.
It's gonna cause feedback. Operator, can you mute her while she takes care of that? While she's handling that, listen, everybody. You have to understand that the top 20% of men that you have had come after you, the men that you say look good, are charming, funny, witty, that is less than 20% of all men. You don't even recognize the men that you automatically delete. So if your preference is a man that is tall, if your preference is a man that's muscular, if your preference is a man who looks a certain way, dresses a certain way, every man that doesn't fit that preference, you don't even recognize him. You don't even see him. You walk right by him, like the guy who cleaned your table, like the guy who was mopping the floor in the back of the restaurant. He counts. The guy at the car wash who scrapes off your windshield first and your tires before your car goes in, he counts. The guy that comes and picks up your trash every day, he counts. And these guys you think don't exist. You're only worried about the men that you actually are attracted to, that you remember. The men that you try to talk to, that fucked you over, that cheated on you, that fucking was a player and fucked you and a couple of your friends. Go ahead, Clapback. I see you trying to say something.
So the ironic thing about the study you just did real time here. Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reality of this survey you just did right now, on the one hand, they say 80 to 90% of men, or even 100% of men, have access to sex, but in their own reality, they admit that they have turned more men down than they have even said yes to. So if you know that the majority of the men that have approached you, you've turned them down, why do you think all the other women are not turning these men down?
Because all women don't have
standards. So it's not
standards.
a great number of men that have access to sex, and you see it in your own life, but then what I'm saying is, even if they don't have standards, what I'm saying is that all women have turned down more men than they have said yes to.
But there's always,
so if you're turning down more men, how do you have 80, 90, 100% of men that have access to sex?
Because there's
not always somebody for somebody.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you.
We don't have equal amounts of women and men on the planet. And
men are very thirsty.
And you're only
there's a lot of trash women, though. We got a lot of
people in
trash women.
Timbuktu. Y'all need to quit that.
Men are very
No,
thirsty.
it's trash women
They're
out there.
witness-
It's
they
trash
witness-
Y'all
women
need to
out
quit
there who
that.
have no
Y'all
care.
say that. Y'all say that all.
Temptation.
Girl.
You're only going to see
Hold
people
on.
that's in your neighborhood.
Hold on, everybody,
and Walmart
listen to
that you
this
go
real
to.
quick. I want you to think of every scale of human that we have here in the United States. And I'm going to start at the very bottom. Homeless people. And I want y'all all to just answer this out to yourself. If I have a homeless man and a homeless woman, who's more likely to get access to sex?
The homeless
The
woman.
woman.
Exactly. If I have a disabled man and a disabled woman, who's more likely to get access to sex?
The woman.
The
Yep. Exactly. So if I have a Pookie and a Pookisha, who's more likely to get access to sex?
Keisha.
Yep.
The woman.
Okay. If I have a guy, hey, Wendy, you're gonna have to mute up. You gotta drop down and come back, baby. You gotta echo. If y'all have a guy who works at fast food making minimum wage, ain't got a car, living at home with mama, and I got a woman who's working at Wendy's, minimum wage, ain't got a car, living at home with mama, who's gonna get more access? Who's more likely to get access to sex?
The
woman.
woman.
The woman. You gotta remember that the majority of men are middle class and lower. These men count. So that
wait.
The hobo man ain't getting no ass. Okay, none.
No, I'm
None. Hold on. Hold on. Let me
It
finish.
depends on what kind of
Let
sex
me
you
finish.
talking
Let
about.
him finish.
Let me finish. The hobo man ain't getting no ass. None. Hobo woman sucking dick right now to get some burger. Right now, she getting beat in her back end behind the nachos tonight. She's getting knocked up to get nachos tonight. Okay, so the disabled man, he is not getting any sex. There's a disabled woman with kids right now. She got 2 fingers. She got 2 fingers. That's it. Out of 10, she's only got 2. Look it up. It's on YouTube.
Damn.
They call her ET. She's got a finger on this hand and a finger on this hand. She got 6 kids. Look it up. If you got a woman who's got Down syndrome or they're little people, every man get a group of men and let a midget walk by and watch what they say.
But how is
That's
that?
disgusting.
That sounds like it's more of like standards of men than women.
What I'm trying to tell you is that
anything that walks.
what you're not hearing. What I'm saying is there is an entire nation of men that never get access to sex. Never. Not some, but never.
That's
You
like a
can
real
be,
thing, huh?
listen, you could be a woman, you could be a little woman with a kickstand for a leg and a cyclops. As long as you got an ass, somebody will fuck tonight. I promise you. Somebody will beat your back end tonight. Maybe not the best quality man, but somebody will beat your small kickstand leg cyclops ass in tonight.
Amen to that shit.
A man does not have the same opportunity. And what I want y'all to see is that the majority of those men who never get access to women, guess what they never do? They never play women. They never cheat on women. They never shit on women. Guess what? Because they never get the opportunity. And if they were to get an opportunity with a woman, they would cherish you for the rest of their life. Operator, play that video. And when we come back, we're going to let the people speak. Play the video about most men are good men.
What's a high value woman?
A woman who knows her worth and knows she can do better than that, because there are men out there that aren't gonna want to see a whole bunch of women at one time.
Well, what determines a woman's worth?
I think a woman determines her own value.
See, that's the difference between men and women. Like, a man can't just determine their value. The world dictates how valuable you are.
The marketplace, you're saying.
Right. Like, women could just make up how valuable she is in her head and then just assume that the world should follow that. But we can't operate like that. Imagine if I said like that, I'm just worth that. Like, why? Because I believe it. Everybody would think that I'm delusional, but women can believe that.
I don't know.
Okay, that video was based off of the value of women and how they come up with it on their own, and how men have to actually gain their own value. That wasn't the video I really wanted to play, but it was a video that I was going to pull up. And the reason why I had that video in the arsenal was because when you're talking about value, that's the next segment. I'm gonna wait on that. We're gonna wait on that. Operator, I need you to play the video where it says most men are good men. It's a white lady talking, and we'll play that video back when we get to that segment. But that's not.
But the majority of men are good men. It's a very small percentage of men that are sleeping with all the women. If you want a guy that's over 6 foot, that's 15% of men. You want him to be cute, cut that in half. You want him to make money, cut that in half. It's a very small percentage of men that are sleeping with all the girls. Like, every girl has a guy in their friend zone that would treat them well, and they know would treat them well, and they know likes them. And it's like, we don't pick them. And then we're going to cry because the guy we picked is bad to us. But you could have picked the guy in the friend zone.
That's what I'm
Just
talking
had this
about.
conversation.
Alima, you haven't got a chance to talk yet. Alima, I want you to tell me, based off of what that video said, do you agree or disagree?
I agree with that.
Now, in the numbers that y'all gave me, you said that the majority of men, right, are good, but the majority of men don't get sex.
Mm-hmm.
So in your own statements, in your own numbers, you basically said good men do not get access to women.
True.
Because you said that the majority of men are good men, over 50%. Only one person said under 40, on the 50%. That was 40%. We had 75, 80, 60, 80, 85, 80, and then we had somebody come in at 45. But the majority of you said that all men get access to sex. How? How does that work? When you have your passport,
You know how that works?
I meant to say that men do not get access to sex. So when you have the majority of men that are good, that you're not fucking,
You know how that works?
Who is left that you're fucking?
You know
The
who
Pookies and the Ray Rays.
you know how this works, Mark. You know how this works, because when it comes to math, all things are possible with women.
That's what I was thinking.
Win.
That's why our numbers link up.
It's all is possible. All is possible with women.
It
I mean,
is.
math don't be
It really
mathing, but it's possible.
Queen Asia, and
Multiplication
Alima.
doesn't work anymore, but it's women. It's possible. It works. It
Queen
works.
Asia and Alima. Did y'all get to date in high school? Queen Asia and Alima, did y'all get to date in high school?
Yes.
Queen Asia?
Well, that's kind of tricky because
it's a no.
You know, I've been girl. If you don't be quiet and mind your business, she ain't talking to you. He ain't talking to
We
you.
can't hear you, Laura.
God dang.
Okay,
So that's
wait.
kind of tricky because my baby daddy been my person since I was 12 years old, right? And remember when I said he was kind of like incarcerated throughout our childhood?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, but I did give it a try though. Like
you was fucking with boys at 12?
No, I was a virgin. I was still a virgin.
Okay.
But we've been knowing each other. We've been friends.
Okay, so I'm going to ask both of you. When you were dating a boy in high school, what was the purpose of dating that boy?
I mean,
That's a very good question.
I mean, for me, go ahead.
The purpose for me was actually marriage, to be honest.
You was thinking about marriage in school?
And in high school, when I was 17, when I was 17 years old. I was 17. My mom is Muslim. My mom is Muslim. Their faith is different. My mom is Muslim. So
I'm not saying you're lying. Queen Asia, was you thinking about marriage in high school?
No, I was like in the 9th grade. He was cute. He had money. They would trap money.
He was in the 9th grade. He had money.
He treated me nice.
He was a
I was in the 9th. He was in 11th grade.
He was.
And he had trap money.
Okay, so
my question
he was
one of them.
Queen Asia, do you believe that experience taught you how to use men and how to be used by men?
Have that situation taught me how to use men and how to be used. No, I was just too young. I wasn't thinking that far ahead. We never had sex.
So what did you learn?
He was
What did you have him for? You wasn't trying to get married. I don't care if you never
I wasn't trying to fuck neither.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was
She just wanted to get what I can get, I guess.
Wait.
She's a liar.
Sex does not mean.
Girl, just because you ain't lived my life and you've been.
I'm glad I didn't live your life.
Hold on,
big ass
pause,
woman.
everybody.
Water and been
Hey,
in a fucking house all day.
Operator.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
Queen, listen, operator. Is she still backstage?
Stop.
Okay.
We gotta give each other the opportunity to speak our story.
I need everybody just
You just love me so bad. It's so crazy.
Okay, Queen Nation, listen to me. Listen to me. I want to know, when you had that experience with a boy in high school that you had no intention of marrying, you had no intention of having kids, you had no intention of having sex. What was the intention that you had him for? What did he benefit you? How did he benefit you?
I mean, he was like my first Valentine. I liked him. He was cute. He made me feel beautiful.
If he was broke, would he have been your boyfriend?
Probably not.
Okay. All right. Now that we get into the truth. Now we get into the truth. So you looked at him as an individual who could give you things and who could do nice things for you, correct?
But then again, he was a popular guy. You know, when you in school, you popular, and y'all like each other. Hey, you know.
So not only did you get gifts from him, you also got popularity from him.
No, I've been popular, baby.
Okay, so that means y'all were popular together. So that meant he met your swag. He was the same level as you. Y'all were equally yoked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but again, you had no intentions of marrying him. You had no intentions of trying to build a family. You were just using him, and he was using you because both of you had no intentions of doing anything in the future. This was what you was doing right now to pass the time. It made you feel good. You liked the way he looked, and that's the reason why you were with him. Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, it was puppy love, I guess. I was too young to think that far ahead.
Regardless of what we called it. It taught you something, regardless if you believe it or not. It taught you how to utilize a man and how to let a man utilize you, regardless if he was just feeling on you, regardless if he was just walking around showing you off and showing the other boys, look what I got, and you can't have her, I have her, regardless. It was nothing set in stone of what y'all were trying to work towards. So I believe you dating as a little girl in high school taught you bad habits. It taught you.
Guess what?
Guess what?
Whether I talked about marriage or not, guess what? Guess why he broke up with me? Because I never gave him none. I never gave him none.
That's cool.
Whether I was waiting for marriage or not, he left me because I ain't give it up.
How old were you when you lost your virginity? How old were you when you lost your virginity?
See, I ready to say something. Now I was 17.
Okay, so you did all that. You went through all that and still was fucking before you got out of high school. I mean, I understand. I don't understand, but that's what you did. So how difficult was it for you to be able to recognize and deal with a real man after getting done with all those games and all that bullshit? How easy was it for you to be able to transition from childish games in high school to say, you know what? I want to sit down with a real man and have a real conversation, kneecap to kneecap, about my future marriage and family. How difficult was it for you to transition from that to what I just described?
You know what? For a very long time, I never stopped playing games. Because again, for a very long time, my heart was still with my son's dad. So anything after that was whatever I can, you know what I'm saying? Just to be real though.
I got it. All right, operator, bring everybody else. Bring everybody back. Bring everybody back. That's exactly what I was just trying to prove to the audience. That's exactly what I was trying to show the audience, is that behaviors that we deal with in situations, circumstances that we put ourselves in will affect us in the future. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You cannot sit up here and date and play house with a man or a woman and think that it's not going to affect you. And now we have a young lady who admitted out loud that I was in a relationship and it took me a long time before I was able to get out of that situation of playing around and being in childish situations and circumstances. We've already watched the video on how women are getting put, it's a placeholder by young men that have no intention with you. You are a placeholder. You are something to do. You are entertainment, right? We watched the video on being used by women because it literally teaches you how to use a man to get gifts, to get special treatment, to use their
in high school. A lot of y'all.
But the thing is, I never had to lie to get it.
But in high school, a lot of
in high school, I'm gonna get my way. This is being authentic.
Listen, in high school, a lot of y'all are just crash dummies. Real talk.
I'm going to jail. How was that, Peter?
You seen your homegirl
because they have no intentions of making anything happen with you.
The wall,
right?
Colliding juices and colliding body parts just flying all over the place.
You're just something people are learning from.
They be doing stuff. They be doing some stuff. Grown people stuff.
I was still a virgin in high school.
Hold on,
until I graduated high school.
Hold on. We're going to transition now. We're going to transition. All of this is going to be brought up into what is your value. Now, we hear women say it all the time. I know my worth. I know my value. But where did that come from? Operator, now play that video again where it talks about high value women. Or the value of a woman, how they determine themselves. Play that.
What's a high value woman?
A woman who knows her worth and knows she can do better than that, because there are men out there that aren't gonna want to see a whole bunch of women at one time.
Well, what determines a woman's worth?
I think a woman determines her own value.
See, that's the difference between men and women. Like, a man can't just determine their value. The world dictates how valuable you are.
The marketplace, you're saying.
Right. Like, women could just make up how valuable she is in her head and then just assume that the world should follow that. But we can't operate like that. Imagine if I said like that, I'm just worth that. Like, why? Because I believe it. Everybody would think that I'm delusional, but women can believe that.
I don't know.
That's funny. I can't like immediately. I thought like women's value is like NFTs. That's what I thought immediately.
Now I'm gonna give everybody an opportunity to answer. I'm going to allow the men to answer. The men are going to say what is valuable about the woman that's in their life, and then the women, I want you to tell me what is your value to you. What is your value? What makes your value? What's your worth? What's your value? I'm going to allow the men to say what's the value of their women in their life, and I want y'all to see the difference in the answers. But I want women to go first because y'all are habitual answer copiers. You're gonna listen to the men. You're gonna say.
No, I do want to say this about the women being NFTs. They are NRTs.
Okay, Draco, you first. What is your worth?
Okay.
And what is your value?
So
and
real
that
quick,
is what?
I'm not gonna talk too much. So I was in a relationship with a person, and I was like, I got my own house, I got my own car, I can pay my own bills, I do this, I do that. And I was like, I know I'm a good woman. And I was met with, you're an adult. Like, congratulations, you're an adult. So like for a long time, that was my mentality of me being a good woman, because I can be an adult and I'm self-sustainable. So I will say up until like my 30s, like that was my mentality, that I'm so sustainable, so I'm a good woman. And after that conversation, it was somebody I was dating, like it really did change my perception of that doesn't make you valuable. That just makes you dateable. So I think now my value is, you know, what I can really bring to the table as a person. So me being able to be a partner, me being able to listen, me being able to support you mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I think those are the things that make me a good woman.
Right. And also, can I also add, also when you know, knowing how to make sure you know when your cups are running over.
Yes. And to be able to openly express that.
Peter, no
To
helping.
be able
No help
to
him.
say that.
No,
No,
she
no,
ain't
no,
catch
he's not
that.
helping me.
She ain't catch that. To
He said, well, my
notice
cup
when
is
your
coming
cups
up.
runneth
D
over.
cups.
We're talking about your B and C cups.
D cups.
What's going on, Mr. Ross? Come back to you here in a second. Okay, Wendy, go ahead. You got
What's
your
happening, brother?
Wendy,
She just got it. She just got it.
Wendy, can you hear me? All right, never mind. Blasian, unmute.
Y'all got me being physical out here.
Blasian, tell me what is your worth
Yes.
and what is your value?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
I want you to tell me what is your worth and what is your value.
Yeah. I didn't figure out until recently what my worth and my value is, and I'm 41 in a few weeks. So I have to be honest and say that it wasn't until I had certain life experiences that made me think of what I was taught, what I should have been, and who I shouldn't have ended up with throughout the years. I hope that answers the question without
Okay,
me being
Gigi,
too lengthy
what
and
is your
stuff like
worth?
that.
What is your worth and what is your value?
I think with me, I think that my worth is that how as person how I'm able to be the backbone for that companion that I have. That person that is not only there to like, okay, I give no, to listen. Because a lot of times, even there, we need to recognize as a woman that a lot of our men are mentally, they are not stable because of past or because of previous relationship. So it is sometimes as a woman, I think my word is that I'm able to sit down and to listen and recognize that I'm not always right and be able. What, Mark? Your face. Take it away.
Wait, I'm asking y'all what is your worth and you're giving me verbs.
I'm ready.
That's the
Wendy,
word for
Wendy,
me.
you gotta mute up. Wendy has still got to echo. Listen, when I ask you what is your worth and what is your value, it's not about the things that you can do. It's not about what you can provide. See, this whole conversation tonight is to show you how you have came up through life has gotten you to the point where you avoid sometimes, you avoid real men and their real questions because your value, you've already set it to a certain standard that you haven't met yourself. You haven't met the financial value that you think you should be at. You haven't met the physical value that you think you should be at. You haven't met the value of possessions that you
But
think.
Mark, everybody can see their different value.
I know, I get it.
Everybody, and everybody got a different value. What you
I'm
see.
listening. Hold on. I'm listening to you. Y'all are talking about things that you have and things that you possess and things.
I didn't say. I said that's a value. That's something that you learn.
I know,
that's
but
a value.
no.
Everybody
The
don't
person
have
said
that.
is, I can
But
listen.
you see. But as you have to respect, has what other people think what's their value.
That's cool. But I'm trying to help you.
But that's you. That's what you think.
But I want you to understand.
But you know what? But that's what you
listen to me
think.
first. Listen to me. I'm trying to get you to understand what I'm trying to pull from you. When I'm trying
you
to
ain't even ask me what's my value and my worth.
I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you. Listen,
Thank you.
I want you to understand what I'm trying to get from you. And I think you have a misunderstanding of what I'm trying to get from you because you and a lot of women have already predetermined what you believe value and worth is. And what I'm trying to help you see is where it stemmed from and why you have those thoughts. It's all the way from when you was a little girl. What do you look like? What does your mama got? What kind of car do y'all drive? You have been trained that value and worth is things that you can do for people, things that you can provide for people, and things that you have obtained for yourself, such as education, a home, a job, a business. That those values and that worth is nothing to men.
It's nothing.
That's
Hold
not
on,
true.
Gigi. I'm not saying it may not.
I have to drive, so let me connect
Okay,
myself
it's
to the
not fair
car.
for you to tell before everybody
I'm
answer.
talking
Like you
about.
gotta let everybody
I'm
answer.
not trying to.
Can you wait your turn?
I'm not trying to tell anybody their answer.
Listen,
I'm just
blazing. I don't know what you got.
Queen,
I don't understand.
Queen,
I'm sorry.
Queen.
Hey, listen, we both women. We're all women here. Can we just support each other? We don't got to do this. That's not necessary.
Hey, Mark,
you guys
can I
both
say
have
something real quick?
value.
I'm gonna
It's
let all the
unnecessary.
men go as soon as I get the answer from the women. Okay, bring Queen back up. Because I don't want them
we
to
don't got
copy
to
our
do
thing.
that.
All right, so Queen, tell me first. Let me make the statement, then I want you to tell me your worth and your value. What I'm trying to say, ladies, is that I believe that in the game that you played as a young lady, going on dates with men for no purpose and no reason whatsoever, you don't have anything about marriage in mind. You was just having fun and you thought he was cute and all that other shit. You have talked those, and Queen Asia admitted it. You have taken those same things that you practiced as a young girl, dating as a young girl, into adulthood, and then it was hard for you to find a good man. And the reason why you avoided that good man is because a good man has good conversations, just like a father. He's asking fatherly questions. It's a fatherly conversation. You didn't want nothing to do with that. You wanted to keep having fun. And now you think that your worth and value has went up because you got education, you got a home, and you don't need a man. So now we're here where I'm asking you individually, what is your worth? What do you believe your worth is? Okay, Queen Asia, go ahead and go.
For one, I never said I never needed a man.
Hold on.
Let's
We
get
got,
that
we got a super chat. Let me read this right quick. Your worth is not determined by someone else's ability to see it. Self-worth above everything. That's from your poor queen.
Facts.
All right.
Facts.
Go ahead, Queen Asia.
Now, as a kid, my grandma affirmed that I was a prophetess. And before any Jezebel speak against my name, that's who I am. I've been a queen, and you see it's already in my name. I think highly of myself. That's who I am. Naturally, I am nurturing. I am a great mother. I am a great nurse. Before I was a nurse, I was a CNA for years. Not only that, I've been to college. No, I didn't graduate, but I switched my major from nursing to business management. I'm a homeowner. I also sold a home without a realtor, so I could sell anything. I'm really hustling the streets.
Can I ask you something?
I have a hustling
Let
mentality.
her finish.
I'm not finished though. I'm still bragging on myself. So,
get it, sis.
You know, I possess this type of ego about myself that no man could ever validate. You know what I'm saying? I'm a God-fearing woman who know God without really knowing God, if that makes sense. Without even knowing the book front to back, I know him. I have that let me see. I guess I'm the chosen one. God made me one of his chosen ones.
Gotta say qua.
Studying.
Okay.
Huh?
You gotta say qua.
Yeah.
Gotta say qua.
I know who I am. Because nobody can ever tell me who I am.
I gotta get through other people, y'all. Let her finish. Go ahead.
I acquire both masculine and feminine energy. You know, I could get in the mud with the guys and I can get in the mud with the females. Or I could keep it cute with the females. I have all those things, you know. I own everything I got.
Okay,
and I can make a quick flip. No
Appreciate
problem.
it. Now, Gigi, go ahead and give us yours, and then I'm gonna let the men explain the worth and value of their women in their life. Okay, go ahead, Gigi.
I think we missed like one female, Mark.
I think she dropped.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead, Gigi. Gigi, what is your worth and value? Go ahead. Can you hear me? Okay, I guess she's doing something. So now I'm going to let the men go. Lord, you're going to go first. Peter, Clapback, and then Mr. Ross. Tell me, what is your worth and value? And ladies, I want you to hear what they're saying, and I want you to compare it to your answers. All right, Lord, go ahead. I hear you.
You're muted, Lower. Unmute yourself.
Every time I unmute it mute. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's clear.
Yeah.
My worth.
No, your wife. Your wife.
Her worth.
Your wife's worth and value to you.
My peace. She's my accountant. She's my confidant, my counsel, my right hand, my everything.
Peter.
I want to say something real quick. You can't be a queen unless a king gives you a crown. That's just so. With that being said, she's my queen.
Lord, mute up.
Lord and said everything, the peace thing, and that's
Lord,
all
mute
that.
up.
So I also want to say this. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So is your value, ladies. It's in the eyes of the men that's going to make you their queen. Because you're not a queen until a king gives you a crown.
So, what is the value and worth of your wife?
I mean, Lord has said it all, man. She peace. My ride or die, someone that's there for me through thick and thin. People, you got friends that when things get thick, they start thinning out. You know what I'm saying? But she right in it with the thick of it, and we face whatever we face together. She's my partner in crime. She's the person that ain't gonna give up on me. I'm never gonna give up on her. She's my teammate, even when we lose sometimes. And we could celebrate the wins together as they come. And yeah.
Okay, Mr. Ross, what is the value and the worth of your wife to you?
All right, first of all, I'm gonna clear something up, and I heard all of the women say this. Okay, first of all, the difference between worth and value. Worth is an intangible. Value is a tangible. Worth is something. Worth is something that you can't see, you can't touch. Value is something that you can. What my wife to me is, she's my. When I'm quiet, she's my thunder. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how you become equally yoked. How it works is like my man just said. I piggyback off of everything that they said, the peace, all of this, the intangible part. She financially structures me when I'm falling short on whatever financially, which I never do. I'm just saying, I'm using that as an example. When I'm short, she got me on that end. When I don't feel like, hey, I'm gonna pay for food. That's the tangible portion. The intangible is the spiritual battles that she fight when you're not there. The things that she does when you're not present. Those are the things that you look for. That's why he that find a good woman find a good wife.
A good thing.
We go choose them. We choose you and allow you to be within our circle. And that's how it works.
Appreciate that. Clap back. What is your
Yeah.
value of a woman to you?
Yeah. So I was married for 24 years, and during that time, she was the completion of my sentence and put the period there. She was, as everyone has said, my peace. She was my breath. She was the heartbeat that I heard that I didn't understand. And it was worth the worth she brought to me was a worth that I would have been willing to give my life for her.
Alima, you didn't get a chance to answer. Tell me, what is your worth and your value to you?
That's kind of a hard question. I don't place value like that on myself. I think my value will come from what my fiance feel it is.
Okay, so you don't feel like you have accomplished or you have done things in life to raise your value as a woman to men?
I think my accomplishments were personal for me, yes. To men, no.
Okay, Wendy, do you got our good audio now? Tell me, what is your worth and value to a man? Doesn't look like Wendy has figured it out yet. Listen, operator, if you could play that last video that I have on sentimental. I want y'all to listen.
Sentimental. A sentimental person is someone who is emotionally attached to people, places, things, or memories. Sentimental people often become attached to objects that have sentimental value, such as a childhood toy or a piece of jewelry that was passed down from a loved one. Feeling sentimental can give you a sense of belonging and make you feel a strong connection to people, a place, or an experience. This is something we all feel from time to time. Our lives are made up of so many moments, and cherishing those moments can be a really positive thing.
I wanted everybody to hear the definition of the word sentimental, and I wanted you to apply it to yourself. And the last question of the night is, what is your sentimental value? What is the sentimental value you have? Where is it? Who has it for you? Because the value that we've heard tonight, the value that people have displayed, the value that people have described was all about things and actions. But sentimental value is something that somebody has for something or someone. And it's regardless of the condition of that person. It's regardless of how you look, what you have, what you've done, what you got, and what you can give. The sentimental value I have for this old truck that my grandfather left behind. To everybody else, it's rusted and disgusted, and nobody has any value for it. But it's priceless to me because I have sentimental value for it. I don't care that you think that it's worth $100. I don't care if you think that it's not worth the amount it was when it was brand new. It's sentimental to me, and it's priceless to me, and I will give anything for it. What sentimental value do you have? And do you even find it important to obtain? Everybody mute up for me real quick. This is the message that I want everybody to get tonight at home watching, or whoever will watch. You heard the men give what their value of their woman was, and you heard the women give their value of themselves. Only one or two individuals came close to the men, because what you have done for yourself and what you have obtained and what skills that you have has nothing to do with the memories and the cherish that a man has for you. It is the sentimental value that you want to elevate to from anything else you've ever experienced. Whether you experience lust, whether you experience a long-term committed relationship, the ultimate goal is sentimental value, meaning when we can't have sex no more, when you don't look good no more, when I don't look good no more, I can't trade you in, baby, because I got sentimental value for you. Your education is obsolete. Your job don't exist no more. Your bank account is not where it used to be. But guess what? I got sentimental value for you. Like they said, their woman is their breath. Their woman is something that they're willing to die for. It's priceless. And you will never understand that. You will never get to that place if you are constantly putting your own worth and value and accomplishments in the world and who and what you look like and what you have obtained. You don't even know that it exists. Sentimental value is what you have for your parents, for your kids. They will always mean something to you. They will always be valuable to you, regardless of their condition, regardless if they ever do anything for you ever again. Where's your sentimental value? Who has sentimental value for you other than your parents, your children, maybe I truly believe in this conversation tonight, we have started from the beginning of the very first relationship you've ever had in your life. And the very first time you ever sit kneecap to kneecap with somebody and said, I like you, it was for the wrong reason. And it's not all, but I'm thinking and I'm talking to the majority of people. The very first video talked about how men have placeholders. And girls have placeholders. Being with somebody for absolutely no reason at all. Just to pass time. I just happen to be at this school, in this state, in this city, and I don't want to be here alone. So I'm going to use you to give me company. I don't plan on marrying you. I don't plan on having no kids with you. I don't even plan on being with you. But it was good while it lasted. Because I have another ultimate goal. My other ultimate goal is to graduate from this school and obtain my degree so I can do what? Increase my value. Increase my worth. And all this time, you done spent the majority of your years chasing this rectangle piece of paper called $1. And this big ass 8x11 piece of paper that's called a degree. Which nobody who will ever love you for the rest of your life will even care or speak about. You didn't hear one man speak about anything that had to do with money, had to do with education, had to do with any type of accomplishments. It was all about how they felt about their woman. And that is sentimental value. That woman could be homeless, broke, disabled, and they will love them the same. I ask you, who has sentimental value for you? Is it the college that you graduated from, that you're a part of the alumni? Is it the job that you did for 22, 30 years that you retired from? Is it the bank that you constantly visit every month? I think not. Sentimental value is given and received by people you invest in. And hopefully one day you will have the pleasure of obtaining it. Before we close tonight, I would like to give everybody a closing remarks and the ability to speak before we end. Laura, go ahead. Laura, you got first. Closing remarks. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
All right.
No,
he just muted himself.
You muted again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is that better? All right.
Yeah.
Ladies, when y'all describe yourselves, y'all got to put yourselves in the mind of the way men talk. When y'all describe yourself, y'all describe yourselves the way men talk. Y'all put the values and things that men want to provide for our families. You got to start asking men what they want. All the stuff y'all name, I have this, I have that. You don't hear men requesting those things. What men want is a peace of mind. That ride or die chick that Peter described, that peace of mind that I described, all the intangible things. I've been with my wife 27 years. I don't talk about it too much because even right now, when I think about what she means to me, I'm holding back tears. And it's been 27 years. But she is my everything. I can't. She means so much to me. I can't even put it all into words. But she my everything. So when y'all describing yourselves, you need to describe yourself as the value you bring to a man. And it ain't your degrees. It ain't your big ass house. It ain't your car. It's your smile and your conversations. And when we hanging out and just me and you, we ain't gotta say shit. We just looking at each other. That's the part we're gonna remember. We don't give a fuck about all the other shit. So remember that.
Ms. Draco, closing remarks.
So my closing remarks is, like I said, that was my mentality, is what I bring to the table, until I had someone say, okay, so you're an adult. And then I really had to really do a deep dive into myself and say, well, what do I bring to the table? And I was gonna say it, but I didn't say it. But the current person that I talk to, I tell them, I want to be your peace. And I want to help you have that peace of mind when you don't have it. I want to be that level of comfort where all of everything is going chaotic, that you know that this is okay. You're safe here. And it's just it's something that us as women have to understand, that we bring to the table and we have the capability to bring to the table. But it's just us being so caught up into what we believe that we need to bring, but it really that doesn't it's not the value that a person needs. If you got somebody who needs a house, or somebody who needs a car, or somebody who needs a debit card, that's not a value to that person. You're an asset. So me being a value is so much more important than me being an asset. And I mean, it's just something that we have to learn.
Thank you, baby. Anderson, Mr. Anderson, tell me, what's your closing remarks?
Back in July 6, 1994, there was a movie that came out entitled Forrest Gump. Start doing that, Saul.
Where we going?
Let me go. Let me go somewhere with this.
I know exactly where you went with it. I can dig exactly what you're saying.
He said, life is a box of chocolates. Never know what you're going to get. Right? He said, hey, Johnny, I love you, Johnny. And that's what he said. Because guess what? Now I understand Forrest. Because Jenny has sentimental value.
Right.
The times when she used to be like, run, Forrest, run. Everybody made fun of him. But Jenny was right there for him. Even though she was for the streets, hey, she had sentimental value. So what, and so I want to say, don't be like Jenny, but have sentimental value, okay? And encourage your man to keep running, and be that kind of person that gives that value to that man. And I
like how you brought that. I like how you brought that around. I like that. Mr. Ross.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this. I was married for 10 years to my first wife. It took me 10 more years to meet my second wife. I searched for her. I asked for her. I prayed for her. I prayed for her. And I prayed for her. And I got exactly what I wanted. She couldn't give me nothing, no sex, no anything. I mean, I've been all over the world. I was in the United States Marine. I was all over the world. I had all kind of this and that. So all that extra stuff didn't matter. I say this to the women that's on here on the panel, or the ones that's even listening. Until you find a man, until you look through the man and not at the man, what I mean by that is, greater is he that is within me than him that is of the world.
Woo!
Until you find that man, until you find that man that puts God first and himself second, you will not find that one. Remove yourself. Remove yourself out of the equation because it's not about you. And you don't find him. He finds you. He upgrades you. Look for the upgrade. Don't look for the man. Y'all be blessed.
Thank you, brother. Clap back. Closing remarks.
Yeah, another great show tonight. You know, bro, this show, we're talking about value, and sometimes I wonder if when I listen to some of the responses and even our closing remarks from our ladies, I really wonder sometimes if it really, really connects, because the foundation of the video that you played talks about how does one identify their value. If you're identifying your value for yourself, you can give yourself a value that nobody can judge. But if you are identifying your value for someone else, how can you do that if you don't know the someone else? How can you do that if you don't know the person? They have a class, I believe it's in Fresno State, one of the colleges in California, where they teach a class about Black men. And overwhelmingly, the majority of the women who join that class are non-Black women. These are women who want to be married, and they want to know everything about the Black man. The reason most Black women don't know their value to a man is because they don't know the Black man. You don't know what we want. You don't know what we like. You don't know who we are. And for the most part, the worst part about it is you don't give a damn. Because if you did, you would take the time to study the Black man the way the Black man has studied the Black woman. So for everyone listening in the comments and everyone on the panel, I would say to all of our women, jewels like these and gems like these don't come. They're precious. You don't find a lot of gems like this. And the worst thing that you could ever do is underestimate the value of the gem being given to you. And you don't do an appraisal to understand how valuable it is. And then you turn around and find out you had the very jewel that could have set you free. But because you didn't take the time to understand that jewel, you let it go and somebody else picked it up. Thank you.
Outstanding. Alima, last remarks.
So I definitely enjoyed the show. And I have to agree with the men on here, which is why when you asked Saul, have I accomplished anything in my life that would have increased my value? And my response was for self, yes, but for a man, no. Because as stated, all the college degrees I had and all that means absolutely nothing. So to answer your question in short, I did accomplish something that would increase my value, nothing tangible, but knowing when to close my mouth, knowing when my opinion is not warranted or wanted, knowing when to be supportive, knowing when to follow, knowing when to be submissive. That what has increased my value with my partner. So I think, like they said, women place value on themselves, which Clapback just stated that, no one can reach. And I think women need to be just a little bit more logical with their thinking and really look deep within to figure out what men value, and not the value that we feel like they should value, but what they actually value. And I think that would help women, and it will bring our community as far as Black men and Black women back together, because we'll have a better understanding of what they want. We have to be selfless. Like right now, women are selfish. Everyone's selfish. It's about me, what I do, what I can do, not what you can do for that person. And so once we get back to a place to where we're selfless and we understand the male gender, I think we'll be okay. But we have to want to do it.
Thank you. Queen Asia, closing remarks.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so before we go, I would like to ask, can one of y'all single men give this fake ass Diana Ross some goddamn dick? Because she stay on my motherfucking case. Look like a broke down man. That's what she look like.
Why you?
What is going on?
Shots fired.
Yo, that took me out real quick. Why you gotta start? Yo, I was minding my business. You just mad you weigh about 322 pounds.
Yes, sir.
Hashtag.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
I'm sorry you came at the end, brother. Have you been watching?
Yeah.
So
I've been watching, man. Pete put me up on everything, and I came right away. So I've been watching for a cool minute. And what I'll say is kind of simple. Can and will. A woman's worth is what she can do. A woman's value is what she will do. What she like, anybody can go to school and get a degree to be a teacher, but will you be one? Anybody can go to school and be to be a mechanic, but will you be one? If our value and the highest form of value is sentimental value, then at what point do you start to contribute something so important to a person on a subjective, on their personal level, to where the peace is actually the peace and the quiet is actually a voice? The most dangerous piece of equipment in war is a silencer. The reason being is because it doesn't mean that peace is coming. It means that war is near. What I'm trying to say is that so many times what we'll run across is women that present their worth as their value because they do not understand what value means. Value is about service, not about your education. People confuse education and intelligence and even wisdom. Education is what you know. Intelligence is how you apply it. And wisdom is when to apply it.
Damn.
If we don't learn to create distinctions between the can and the will, then what will always happen is that people will put their cans above the will and think that they are something of importance to people. You are not important because you can. You are important because you will.
Lie detector test determined you are telling the truth.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Blasian, last remarks.
Yes, sir. All right. At first I didn't know how to answer this question because I thought to myself, I said, I might have accomplished a few things here and there, but none of that stuff really matters. I already know men really don't care about degrees and what you did as far as, like what you went to school for. Like nobody cares about stuff like that. But I feel as though watching my mom and watching her with her husband, and I've only seen her with my dad and her husband, and she's been married for like 25 years, if not more. That taught me a lot growing up. It taught me how selfless my mom is and how I should be. So that helped me to gain knowledge over the years. How do I want a real relationship? Because I already knew from a younger age that men don't really care where you're working, Wendy's, Target, Walmart. Men don't care about the stuff that we would normally care about. It's all about what we can do that's selfless to help others and, of course, the man that you're with. So that's what I wanted to say. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Wendy, for becoming a new member. Everybody that's watching tonight, I appreciate you. And all my co-hosts, I really do appreciate you for sharing your time and your thoughts. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and we should be here next week. Same bad channel, same bad place. But before I go, operator, you can drop all my guests. I just want to do a closing monologue before we end the show. I know that we didn't have all the drama and all the arguing and all the silliness on tonight because this was something that was very important to me that I really wanted to talk about. And because I couldn't fit all of this in just one title, I had to break it down into 3 different ones because it's phases of how this thing happens. You have to begin life with the end in mind. You begin with the end in mind. And that's in all aspects of life. Financially, with your education, your career, and yes, your love life. You don't begin starting to do something that's going to put you on a path going in the wrong direction. Playing with people. That's what dating in high school is. That's what dating as a child is. You're playing with people. And you continue to play. And by the time you figured out that this is the wrong game you're playing, most likely sometimes it's too late. I want you to understand, and this goes for men and women, what the truest and most valuable worth you could have. And I want you to think about who in your life means the most to you right now. Who in your life do you believe has unconditional love for you? Probably some people you haven't done much for. Your mom, your dad, your grandmother, your grandfather. There's nothing that could happen to you where they would change their love for you. You can gain as much weight. You can lose every job you ever had. You can fail every test you take. You can become incarcerated. And they will always have sentimental value for you. Because with family, we always begin with the end in mind. At least we should. So, what I am asking for all of you out there listening is from now on to focus, wish for, and want sentimental value. I appreciate you, E-Buddy. She said, awesome show tonight. Thank you for supporting the channel. I want you to make a list. I want you to write down on a piece of paper how many people that are not blood related to you in any way that you believe have sentimental value for you. And then I want you to have a conversation with that person. And I want you to ask them, what is my value to you? And see if it's true. If they start talking about your education, well, I feel like you're valuable because of your degree and you're a successful entrepreneur, you're a CEO, you have your own business. You're beautiful. Well, what happens when it all goes away? What do we have at the end of the day when it's all gone? The cash isn't flowing as much as it used to. Your skin is baggy. Your body is falling apart. Your memory is starting to slip. You don't even smell the same. Who will have value for you? Who will have sentimental value for you when mom's gone? When your dad's gone? Your grandparents, your sister, your brother, your friends. It is up to you to build relationships and invest in people same ages and younger that will have sentimental value for you when you have nothing else to offer. When you have absolutely nothing else to give. You're on zero. They will be there for you. They will encourage you. They will love you. They will want you. They will miss you. And you have nothing to offer. That is the truest and greatest value anybody could ever have to someone else. I hope that everybody that was watching this show tonight learned something, took something, was able to possess something and keep something that they can carry into their life tomorrow. Until next time, people, begin with the end in mind. Good night.